Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So not too long ago, I shot a sketch or a short scene for a friend's reel who happens to be an actor.
Oh, there we go. Now we're going. What's up, guys? We're here, back with Anthony. We're filming a comedy reel.
How many copies, Master?
BTS.
Bells
How many copies?
and Venice.
So I'll just get a wide and give everybody.
Come in what?
Yeah. And I got a few buddies here to help me out.
Hi, camera. Howdy. It's what we discussed earlier.
Yeah. Cool. About that, I'm flush. We have officially picture wrapped today. I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Nesty. That shit's ice.
And after doing so, I figured that now would be as good a time as any to do a video comparing and contrasting this new feature in DaVinci Resolve 20 versus my current editing workflow. Now, I know that we throw around the term AI very loosely, and that isn't lost on me, but just stick with me on this one. So today I want to test out DaVinci Resolve 20's new feature Intelliscript and compare it to how I traditionally edit and collaborate with the client. Now, this feature has been out for a while, but I have not had a chance to, or really a reason to get around to testing it out. But like I said, this is the best time for me. And at the end, if it works, I'll show you both edits side by side, no labels, and then we'll see if you guys can guess which one is which. Now, Intelliscript, at least how I've heard it touted, is not another traditional transcript tool. It actually builds your timeline based on a script. Now, for it to work, you will import a text or .txt script. Then you will run audio transcription on the clips that you intend to use in the timeline, after which I should be able to then hit create timeline using Intelliscript, after which DaVinci Resolve should then match the script to the current dialogue in the footage, assemble the best takes on the main track, and organize alternative takes on second tracks for your review. Now, in theory, this sounds amazing, and if this can actually do it, this will cut a literal, not ton maybe, but a lot of hours out of my current workflow because I am a bit of a perfectionist and I always take a little bit too much time working on projects when I probably could not do that. Now, I am also lazy, and I love a good tool that will help speed up my workflow, but editing, I feel, especially when telling a story, isn't just technical. It can be emotional. A lot of times it will be rhythmic. And I think at its core level, a lot of times editing is going to be instinctual. So I personally am interested to see how close this technical feature can come to recreating some of the more human elements of the post-production process. So as far as my little experiment will go, half of it is already done. I will use the same footage, and then it can be edited in two different ways. Now, of course, as I've already said, my version is already done because I've already delivered it to my friend. But just as an aside, if Intelliscript actually works, I will then add the same color grade and reframing to Intelliscript's version, so that way we are comparing a one-to-one. And the only differentiator will be how it's edited and by whom it's edited. Okay, so now the first edit, my edit, which is entirely manual. My pacing, my cuts, my instinct, and my intuition. So kind of how my process goes, the first step is I'm gonna, of course, import all of the footage. I have a certain file structure that I use. You'll probably see it on screen now. What I typically do after that, just to ease the process, I like to hear the edited audio synced with the track. So I will then just sync the original external audio with the video track. And then once that is already synced and timed as it should be, I can then just export and round trip through Fairlight, for me specifically, to Isotope RX11, do all of my post-processing for my audio, and then round trip and bring it back. Then I will create just a base grade on one clip in DaVinci Resolve on the color page. I will save the grade, and then I will apply the grade to all the different takes in that same setup. So that will help expedite some of my color process. From there, I will edit based on my client's notes, but before that, that will actually take us to Frame.io. Now, if you've never heard of or used it before, Frame.io is basically a cloud-based review platform for video. I can upload a rough cut, send a link to a client, and they can leave timestamp comments right in the video, no confusing email threads, no guessing what that one part near the end means. It also allows me version edits, tracks approvals, and even shares files for download all in one clean interface. In this case, how my specific process would work is I would create a unique folder for the client and the project. I would then upload the video. In this case, I've already went through and synced the edited audio so the client can better hear and get a feel for how the clips will sound and look together. Once the video file is uploaded, I would then go through and add a collaborator via email, which would then be my client and or friend for this project. After that is done and the client gets an email and they sign up, they would then view the footage and make their notes and their selections on which portions of each clip they wanted to use for their project. After they've done that, there are various ways you can receive notifications. For me, I'll get a list of emails with each note. Usually I disregard those, but when I log into the folder, there is going to be a notification section and I can see all of the comments that my client has made. Usually what I'll do after that is I will source all of the notifications and or notes into one list, and usually I just use Apple Notes, and then typically I will print that out so I will have it on hand and I can look at. Afterwards, I will then jump into my editing process. What I would then do as I went through his notes in order, I would then move each clip to the beginning of the timeline. So that way it then would be easier for me to sync the time code from the frame.io notes to the actual video that I'm editing. After which I would then select each cut and give it its own timeline based on the client notes. So you would see he would select this video file and then say for shot 1, use this portion, and then shot 3, use this portion. And then I would create a unique timeline to correspond with each shot. Now, any non-ordered shots or those without a take number, I would lay all of those out in one additional timeline, just titled extras. And then once all the selections were made, I would lay them out on a new singular track. I then trim and adjusted each clip based on the best flow and pacing for the script. Once that was done, I did a first run of going through and adjusting audio levels to better match each other. After that, I adjusted the framing of any clips that seemed to be off of their horizon and then cropped where necessary. And then lastly, I color corrected and matched clips as best as I could for a first draft, and then I exported. Now, before we go any further, the bigger question that I've been thinking about, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are, is as technology becomes more advanced, and we can clearly see a path that AI is going to be a part of our life, I'm curious as to what we will all land on as far as what will be the best way to coexist with all of these emerging technologies, and which of these technologies should we be putting our time and energy into creating and making space for. For me personally, I'm always for technologies that encourage, amplify, and facilitate more human interaction, rather than those that some of us are rightly worried about that seem to look to replicate or replace human actions altogether. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment below, and we'll get back to the experiment. As you can see here on screen, I have all of the client selected files put in their own separate folder titled Client Selects. Those are all the tracks that are here on this timeline. The first step would be to take your script and then convert it or export it into a .txt file. I have that already on here somewhere. We will see it in just a moment. The good thing about this is that the original script actually came from a formatted PDF in the typical screenplay format that my friend gave me. I don't think that's going to work with this, but I just copy and pasted and this kind of spaced everything out. But as I've been told, we don't need to worry too much about the formatting, as Intelliscript is only worried about the spoken dialogue. Then next we will transcribe the selected clips that are in my media pool. I will select all of these. I will right click, then I will go to AI tools, and then I will go to audio transcription and then transcribe. Also, something to note while this is finishing up, I know these files are actually going to be raw and unedited, not color graded or whatnot. I will copy and paste the properties from these clips to the Intelliscript version, so that way by the time you guys see this, it'll be a one-to-one comparison. While I'm watching this back, it may not be the same, but I don't need to have that to judge how efficient this is. But you guys, when you see it, I want it to be a one-to-one comparison. So now that this is finished, we will go through that aforementioned step. Right click, AI tools, create new timeline using Intelliscript. Now we are going to import our TXT file. Okay. That happened rather fast. As you can see, this is my original timeline. This is going to be the newer version. I will take a minute and look at this and then come back to you guys.
Means he can't pay rent right now.
Maybe I could pay rent in some other ways until I'm flush.
Okay, like what?
I got a shit ton of baseball cards I can sell, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win my fantasy football league this year.
Oh yeah? It means he can't pay rent right now.
Well, maybe I could pay in some other ways until I'm flush.
Okay, like what?
I got a shit ton of baseball cards I can sell, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win my fantasy football league this year.
Oh yeah? Who's on your team?
Okay, a bit of a time jump for me, should be just a few moments later for you guys. Hopefully you've had a chance. I tried to be as good as I could as far as just showing you guys a one-to-one comparison. Hopefully you guys can make up your own mind on which one was which one you liked, if you thought they were close enough of a comparison, or if you thought that there was a big difference between the edits. Now that we've done that, hopefully you've dropped what you thought in the comments below. I will give you my thoughts, and
Means he can't pay rent right now.
Maybe I could pay rent in some other ways until I'm flush.
Okay, like what?
I got a shit ton of baseball cards I can sell, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win my fantasy football league this year.
Oh yeah? It means he can't pay rent right now.
Well, maybe I could pay in some other ways until I'm flush.
Okay, like what?
I got a shit ton of baseball cards I can sell, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win my fantasy football league this year.
Oh yeah? Who's on your team?
first let's look at the duration of each edit. So my original edit is 1 minute 59 seconds and 6 frames. Intelliscript's edit is that right? 1 minute and 2 seconds. So don't know. Okay. As I said before, this did give me different options on what the best takes were. Clearly, if we were to enable some of these tracks, you can see that DaVinci does know how to make quick cuts. I haven't done all the edits on these, but with that being said, I feel like it shows some very, very long takes. And while I would say with like 60 to 70% accuracy, DaVinci Resolve has kind of gotten a pretty accurate replication of the script. It's not there, and somehow there's almost a minute cut from the actual script that it missed. If we look at where it cuts in on this take, nobody would want to look like, I get why it chose this take in this portion, but the first half of this clip, as you can see, he's not even in the frame and it's not even focusing on him. That is a major thing, but a minor difference for AI to understand for human interaction, and why we wouldn't look at somebody's chest or beyond them if they were speaking to us. We would want to have the line of sight to make that eye contact. That is a very human thing that artificial intelligence or just language models would not understand. So that's just an example, which is something that I don't know what's bigger for me, where it's choosing to cut these clips in based off of like framing or the fact that it lost about a minute out of the script. But safe to say for me, based on what I'm seeing this far, I won't lie, I'm a little bit disappointed. I have seen some other videos, especially when this first dropped, that made this software, this feature, seem a little bit more promising, and people that seem to have had better results. But also there's a very good chance that maybe I did something wrong in this process, and something that I'll have to revisit a little bit more later. But all in all technologies will inevitably move at their own pace. For me, this feature and this technology does not seem to be there yet today, but I'm sure the way that technology is advancing, it will be there much sooner than we would think. I wouldn't be shocked if by this time next year, if not by maybe the top of the year, they have made vast improvements on this. I don't think the biggest issue is going to be the audio transcription and matching the dialogue from the scene to the script. It's going to be some of the other things based on where choosing when and where to cut in beyond just the dialogue and the transcription of the script. So as I said before, this isn't there today, save for a real chance of human error, but it will be there soon enough. But until then, maybe the human touch does still win, even if it is still assisted in other ways by technology. But either way, let me know in the comments below, are you of the mindset of letting AI help you with your work, or are you totally against it? Or are you waiting for the right technology to come along to help you in the right way? Let me know your thoughts on everything in the comment section below. I appreciate you guys for checking this out, and I will see you in the next video.